We got ourselves a jam-packed day of playoff baseball. 4 games, including Boston at Houston, for a 2 o'clock start at Minute Maid. All right, guys, what's up? Brock Page here, and I'm still doing random sports picks out of boredom. Houston opened up the $1.50 favorites with the total at an even 8 runs. Since the betting opened up, most of that early money's come pouring in on the Astros and the over. Right now, Houston's the $1.80 moneyline favorites, with the total moving upward to an even 9 runs. Boston gets the 1.5 and has just 28% of the public money. Pomeranz for the Sox, Kuchel for the Stros. This Houston team wins 70% of their games, where Dallas Kuchel makes the start on the bump. Houston wins 60% at home, 65% as the favorite, and they're 46-31 as the official home favorite. Houston smoked Boston yesterday, bringing the Red Sox total record to just 3-5 in their 8 head-to-head matchups with the Stros. This Boston team has also won just 24-48 as the official Vegas underdog. I like Houston at home again. I got $1 on the Stros, -1.5, and wing it outright for some moneyline cash. Total-wise, 2 out of Boston's previous 3 games went under the line before last night's playoff action. Meanwhile, before last night's action, Houston went 2-1 to the unders in their previous 3 themselves. There's been a lot of scoring in these playoffs, but I think it's time we see ourselves some traditional low-scoring playoff baseball. I like the under. All told, I like Houston and the under 9 runs. Next game, the other ALDS game 2. New York Yankees at Cleveland. 5 o'clock Eastern start at Progressive Field for this one. Cleveland opened up 220 with the total at 7 since it opened up. Not a whole lot of movement. Cleveland's now the 240 moneyline favorites with the total remaining at an even 7 runs. Yankees get the 1.5 and hold just 23% of that public money. Good news for Yankees bettors, though. You got CC on the bump tonight, but he's going against Corey Kluber, who, if he gets the job done tonight, will make Terry Francona look like an absolute genius for starting him in Game 2. Speaking of Game 2, this has all the makings of an absolute gem. The Indians have won 20 of 29 games when Kluber makes the start on the bump. But if you think that's impressive, this Yankees team is winning nearly 71% themselves when CC Sabathia makes the start. This Yankees ball club has struggled against Cleveland all year long, however. They've taken just 2 of 8 head-to-head matchups with Cleveland. The Bombers are also winning just 48% on the road, 46% as the dog, and just 45% as the official road underdog. To top it off, this Yankees team has struggled against good pitching, winning just 9 of 19 games versus teams giving up less than 4 runs per contest. With all that in mind, I really think I have to stick with the Indians to win it. I like Cleveland -1.5 and winning it outright for some moneyline cash. And total-wise, like I said, we have ourselves an OU of just 7 runs, a more conventional baseball playoff total. And if you're an under better, I got to make the case for you. This Cleveland squad is 3-0 to the unders in their last 3. Meanwhile, same song and dance for the Yankees games, as they're 3-1 to the unders in their last 4 themselves. Game 1 of this very series featured just 4 total combined runs. I like the under once again tonight. All told, I'm feeling chalky. Give me the Indians and the under. Next matchup, we're going to slide into the NLDS. I'm talking about Chicago Cubs at the Washington Nationals. Now, this is one of those tough games. I'm not going to have a lot of fun watching this one. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat. But let's take a look at some movement and trends and see if we can figure this one out. Washington opened $1.60, now $1.65. Totals at 7. The Cubbies get the 1.5 and hold just 40% of the betting action. We got Kyle Hendricks for the Cubs, Steven Strasburg for the Nats. The Nats were amazing with Strasburg on the bump this year. Washington won 22 of 28 when Strasburg made the start on the bump. Now, this Nationals team also wins 62% as the favorite, nearly 60% as the home favorite, and 60% against teams giving up more than 4 a game. They're going up against a Cubbies team who's taken just 3 of 7 against these very Nationals. Chicago's also won just 12 of 24 when Hendricks makes the start. Even worse, Chicago struggled all year long against those quality teams, winning just 16 of 38 games versus teams over 500. Did I mention that they've won just 25% of their games at the current moneyline odds? All said and done, I like the Nats to win it outright at home, and I love that moneyline equity for them to win it. That said, I'm a little leery of shoving all in here. This Cubbies team has shown some signs of greatness in the second half of the season. Plus, they're winning a staggering 70% of their games after a day off. I think that's enough juice to keep it close here. I like the Cubbies plus 1.5 on the run line. And when it comes to the scoring, I'm not completely sold that this will be a pitcher's duel. Taking the over here seems kind of like a donk move, but the Nats finished going over in 2 of their last 4. Meanwhile, very similar story on the Cubbies side as they finished the year 2-1 to the overs themselves in their final 3. Over bettors, I'm on board with you. All told, I'm remaining chalky with the home favorites as my pick. I got $1 on Washington to win it outright. Cubbies cover, total goes over. Next and final game for the show, the other NLDS. Arizona at the LA Dodgers. We got a 10:30 Eastern start in that one. That one's starting late. But for finishing as bad as they did, the Dodgers come into game 1 as the huge money line favorites. Dodgers open 250, now 270. Total open 7.5, now 7. The D-backs get the 1.5 on the run line and have just 30% of the betting public action. We got Taijuan Walker for the D-backs, Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers. LA's won an absurd 85% of the games when Kershaw makes the start. LA's also nearly won 80% of the games after a day off. In addition to all that, LA's won 70% at home, 65% as the favorite, and most impressive, 71% as the official home favorite. They're going up against a D-back squad who's won just 24-48 as the official road underdog. They've also won just 14 of 28 when Taijuan Walker makes a start on the bump. All said and done, I'm still feeling chalky. I like the Dodgers to win and cover. And when it comes to the total, keep in mind that the Dodgers can pound the ball at home. Kershaw will keep this one low on the D-back side, but the Dodgers are very capable of putting it over themselves. D-backs games are also 2-0 to the overs in their last 2 themselves. Another donk bet for me on the tiny total. Just call me public money Brock, but all told, I like the Dodgers and the over, 7 runs. All right, folks. That is going to do it for me, but before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page. And have yourself a positive day.